Tonight, we leave behind the bright lights and warm comforts of the modern world. Instead, we quietly step into medieval London, a city that never truly sleeps, yet somehow always feels wrapped in darkness. Before you get comfortable, imagine this. You have just arrived after sunset. The narrow streets around you are damp from the day's rain. The air smells of wood smoke, horses, wet straw, and the city's overflowing drains. It is a smell you would never forget, if you survived the night. There are no glowing streetlights, no passing cars, no warm apartment waiting for you. Only wooden houses packed tightly together, their upper floors leaning so far over the road that they almost seem to touch. You pull your heavy wool cloak tighter around your shoulders as the evening grows colder. The city gates have already closed. Anyone still outside must find shelter quickly. You make your way toward a small inn. It is crowded, noisy, and far from clean. Travelers, merchants, and laborers fill the room, sharing stories over weak ale. Someone laughs loudly in one corner, while another man snores beside the fireplace. The innkeeper offers you a bed. Well, calling it a bed is generous. It is little more than a rough wooden frame, covered with an old sack stuffed with straw. The straw has not been changed for months. Tiny fleas hide deep inside it, waiting for the warmth of another sleeping body. You lie down anyway. After all, sleeping outside would be even worse. As the candles burn lower, the room slowly becomes silent. Almost. Somewhere above you, wooden beams creak. A mouse runs across the floor. Someone nearby coughs endlessly. Another traveler mutters in his sleep. The blanket scratches your skin, and despite your exhaustion, sleep refuses to come. Outside, the streets are still alive. A night watchman slowly walks through the darkness, carrying a lantern. Past 9 o'clock, and all is well. His voice echoes through the empty streets. You want to believe him. The silence lasts only a moment. From somewhere beyond the wooden walls comes the distant ringing of church bells. Their slow, heavy sound rolls across the sleeping city like gentle waves. It is strangely calming, until another sound follows. A sharp cry echoes through the street. Someone is shouting for help. You sit upright, listening carefully, but nobody rushes outside. In medieval London, people learn very early that opening your door in the middle of the night can be far more dangerous than staying inside. The shouting fades away. Soon, only the wind remains. A cold draft slips through the gaps in the walls, making the candle flame dance. Tiny shadows move across the room, turning ordinary objects into strange shapes. You pull the rough blanket closer. Sleep still feels far away. The fleas hidden inside the straw mattress begin their nightly feast. You scratch your arms without thinking. Around you, other travelers do the same. Nobody complains. It is simply part of life. Somewhere in the corner, a man coughs again and again. Nobody knows whether it is only a cold or the beginning of something much worse. Medicine is simple. Doctors are expensive. And illness often arrives without warning. Outside, the streets grow quieter. Even the dogs stop barking. For a few peaceful moments, medieval London almost feels beautiful. The moon hangs above the rooftops, shining softly over crooked chimneys and narrow stone lanes. A thin layer of mist slowly covers the city. crashes somewhere nearby. A frightened horse stamps its feet. A hungry cat disappears into the darkness. Life never truly stops here. Hours pass. Your eyes finally become heavy. Just as sleep begins to take over, the church bells ring once more. New Year is coming. The first merchants prepare their carts. Bakers light their ovens. Blacksmiths begin their fires. Slowly, the city wakes again. You step outside into the cool morning air. The streets are muddy. Fresh straw has been scattered over the worst parts of the road, trying to cover yesterday's mess. People hurry past without speaking much. Everyone has work to do. You stretch your tired back and realize something surprising. You survived the night. That alone makes you luckier than many who once called medieval London home. And as the sun rises above the old rooftops, you quietly leave the city behind, carrying with you one unforgettable lesson. Sometimes surviving history was the greatest adventure of all. Now, let your breathing slow, let your thoughts drift, and leave medieval London behind as sleep gently finds you. As the first rays of sunlight touch the rooftops, medieval London slowly begins to wake. A soft golden light pushes away the darkness that had ruled the city all night. The streets are still damp from yesterday's rain. Shopkeepers carefully lift their wooden shutters. Bakers carry fresh loaves of bread from warm ovens, filling the cool morning air with a comforting smell that almost makes you forget the unpleasant odors of the night before. For the first time in hours, you take a deep breath without fear. You watch people begin another ordinary day. A woman carries water from a nearby well. A young apprentice hurries toward his master's workshop. Merchants push heavy carts through the muddy streets, hoping for a successful day before sunset arrives once again. Life continues. It always does. Looking around, you realize something surprising. Nobody seems to question how difficult life is. Cold nights, uncomfortable beds, sickness, and constant danger are simply accepted as part of everyday existence. There are no complaints, only survival. You think about your own comfortable home, hundreds of years in the future. A soft mattress, clean water, warm blankets, electric lights that chase away every shadow. Things that feel ordinary today would have seemed like unbelievable luxury to the people around you. The church bells ring one final time. Another day has officially begun. You quietly leave the city behind, carrying a new appreciation for the simple comforts of modern life. Perhaps history is not only about kings and battles. Sometimes it is about ordinary people who woke up each morning, worked until sunset, and hoped they would live to see another dawn. And tonight, as you rest safely in your own bed, remember the countless people who once slept on rough straw beneath wooden roofs, never knowing what tomorrow might bring. Now, close your eyes, take one slow, peaceful breath. Let the sounds of medieval London fade into the distance, and allow yourself to drift gently into a calm and restful sleep. Good night, and sweet dreams.